Hello, my dear students. So, in this present topic, uh, we will discuss about geological time scale. All right, geological time scale, which is uh, from Unit 1 Geomorphology. All right, geology. So, when we talk about geological time scale, basically, when we talk about geology, it is everything that is recorded within the rocks or layers of the Earth surface. Alright, everything which are there in the rocks, okay, we can find it in the form of fossils or it can be in the form of the minerals which are there. Alright, so everything which are there in the layers of the Earth's surface, it tells us a story about the Earth's past. Alright, okay, so that the time which is divided, okay, from the present, we start from the present, alright, and for millions of years ago, that is known as a geological time scale. Everything is recorded in the rocks, and when we deal with rocks, basically, we talk about geology, alright, okay. So it deals with the time when the earth was started to form, right? And how it passes through various stages and go through various evolution changes, tectonic movements, all of that, okay, till we are here in the present period. All right. So, what is the Earth's time scale or the geological time scale? The geological time scale is a record of the life forms and geological events in the Earth's history. It is an essential tool for understanding the origin of the Earth and the evolution of life. Alright, so you please keep this in mind. It is an essential tool for understanding the origin of the Earth. Okay, and to understand the evolution of life. Alright, it keeps a record of the life forms and geological events in Earth's history. Okay, so scientists developed a time scale by studying rock layers and fossils worldwide. How do they how did they develop the geological time scale? By studying rock layers. Since rock layers, as I told you, it has many information about the fossils. Fossils means uh, the living remains, all right, or the biological remains which are embedded on rocks. Those are known as fossils. Okay, so from those we get information about exactly which type of plants, animals existed in the Earth's past. Okay, so this can be done basically through radioactive dating. Alright, radioactive dating help determine the absolute divisions in the time scale. Alright, so we have here divisions of geologic time. When we talk about geologic time, alright, we talk about millions of years ago. Okay, we start from the present. So how much time from the present was a particular event dated to? Alright, that's why we say millions of years ago. Okay, or it can be 1000 years ago, 2000 years ago. We look into the past. From the present, we looked into the past. Alright, okay. So suppose if a particular geological event happens 2 days ago, we are looking at the past, so you will say 2 days ago. But when we talk about the time of geology, it dates back to millions of years. Alright? Because why? The earth alone dates back to, from its origin, it dates back to 4,000 million years or 4 billion years. That is the estimated time of its formation. Alright? So we have here the geologic time scale is divided into the principal time or age, which are eons, okay, the first category, and then eras, the second category, then periods, which is the third category, and epochs. All right. So the first principal division is called the eon, which is the largest division of the geologic time scale, and it spans hundreds to thousands of millions of years. Okay. So each eon can be divided into eras. Alright, eras will be further divided into periods, and periods will be further divided into epochs. Alright, okay. So the Earth's history is characterized by 4 eons. So we have how many? 4 eons. Alright, so 4 large principal group of time, geologic time, in order from oldest to youngest. Here, so the oldest one is Hadean Eon, alright, which is followed by Archean Eon, and then Proterozoic Eon and Phanerozoic Eon. Right, so we have 4 principal eons. Okay, alright. So the oldest one being Hadean, which dates back to 4.5 or 4.0 billion years or 4.5 billion years. Then the Archean, which is 2.5 to 4.0 billion years. Then the Proterozoic is 541 million years ago, alright, to 2.5 billion years ago. Alright, okay. And the Phanerozoic, it dates back to 541 million years ago till the present age. Okay. So we don't have much information about the Hadean, Archean and Proterozoic, okay, as compared to the Phanerozoic eon. That is why these 3 eons, okay, sometimes they are collectively known as Precambrian eon or Precambrian era. Right? Okay. These 3 eons, sometimes they are known as Precambrian, super eon, they call it. Right? Okay. So this is the time share which they share from the geologic time. Okay, so as I told you, eons are further subdivided into eras, and then eras are subdivided into periods, okay, and periods are subdivided into epochs. Clear? Now this is known as the geologic time scale. Alright, this is how it is arranged. See, we have eon, alright, as we have discussed, eon is divided into 3 parts. The oldest one being Hadean, then Archean, Proterozoic and Phanerozoic. Okay, since there are very less information about these 3 eons, so we don't have much information where we can divide it into eras, periods, epoch, etc. Alright, so these are they don't have any further subdivision as compared to Phanerozoic eon. Alright, and as I told you, sometimes these 3 eons are collectively known as Precambrian eon. Alright, okay. So the Phanerozoic is further subdivided into 3 eras. Okay, alright. So these eras are Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic. Okay, please remember, from the present age we look to the past. Clear, right? So Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic. Can you see this diagram over here? So eon, from the Phanerozoic, it is divided into Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic. Then further we have the Paleozoic is divided into different periods. Okay, the Paleozoic era is divided into different periods, which is Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Mississippian, or these two, they are combined together and known as Carboniferous, right? Carboniferous period. Clear? And then Permian. Alright, that is the Paleozoic period, which is divided into Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, and Permian. Okay, their time span is given here. So it is 542 million years ago to 488 million years ago. The Ordovician is 488 million years ago to 443 million years ago. Clear? So you can always refer to this geological time scale. Alright, see here it's given from Cenozoic is further divided into periods which is Quaternary, Neogene, Paleogene. Alright, okay, alright, or the Quaternary is, tertiary, sometimes it is a combination of Paleogene and Neogene. Alright, Paleogene and Neogene are sometimes known collectively as tertiary. Okay, and then the Quaternary further is divided into Holocene or Pleistocene. So the present age that we are living in today, we are in the Holocene epoch, which is this one, of the Quaternary period, of the Cenozoic era, alright, of Phanerozoic eon. So we are in which eon? Phanerozoic. If they say at present we are in which era? Cenozoic, right? At present we are on which period? Quaternary, alright? And then we are in which epoch? Holocene. Okay, alright? So we'll discuss now about the Precambrian time, right? Precambrian time, which includes Hadean, Archean, and Proterozoic. Alright, so geological time begins with Precambrian time. Why we call it Precambrian? It means the time before the Cambrian period. Okay, so Precambrian time covers approximately 88% of the Earth's geological history. Right? So 88% of the Earth's geological history belongs to the Precambrian time, and we don't have much of its information because there are very limited information about it. Alright, but we know that it is a very long span of time, so it covers 88% of that time. The Precambrian goes from the formation of the Earth to the time when multicellular organisms first appeared. Okay, the Earth was known to be a fiery ball, and it was formed from different gases, right, and dust which combines together. So it started from that time till the time when we saw the first appearance of life, multicellular organisms, right? Then that is from 4,500 million years ago to just about 543 million years ago. Okay, and then begins the Phanerozoic Eon, which continues up to today. Okay, up to today. So this is the time period of the Precambrian time. Right? So the Precambrian age is associated with all geological events which occur 600 million years ago. Okay, right from the formation of the earth, formation of the continents, alright, formation of the oceans, all of that. So the Precambrian age is also known as the Super Eon, since it represents the three eon ages within it. I have mentioned about this. Okay, which is Hadean, Archean, and Proterozoic Eon. Okay, alright. So the Precambrian Eon, basically, it includes the first one. If we start from the oldest age, that is the Hadean age, it is 4,500 million years ago. Okay, so it is called Hadean age. Why? Hades, it means oceans of liquid rocks. The earth was a ball of liquid fire. Okay, no rocks were formed during this period, but only molten lava was present. Alright, in which later this molten lava, it got cooled down and it got solidified, which we have the earth's crust now. Right, that's why the interior of the earth, we have molten lava or the magma within it. Okay, so in the Archean age, which is 3,500 million years ago, Archean means primitive, alright? So water vapor in the air has cooled and condensed to form a global ocean, alright? As the global ocean was formed out of the water vapor, okay, the lava cooled down and got solidified to form the ocean floor and small islands. Right? Okay. So lava was cooled down and it got solidified, and now we have the earth's crust. That is why we have the ocean floor and small islands. Clear? Now continents have not yet formed and single cell life forms were traced. Right? Only single cell life forms were traced during the Archean period, or the Archean age, or the Archean eon. So we have here the Proterozoic age, which is 700 million years ago. Okay, this is the youngest from among the Precambrian eon. So Proterozoic means early life. Remember, multi-cell organisms started appearing during this age. Right? Here, the pictures are given here. And supercontinents was formed during this age. Okay, so supercontinents in the form of Rhodina. We have very old continents, supercontinents before. Please keep this in mind. Plate tectonics theory, all right, or the plate movement has happened since the Precambrian eon, since the earth started forming. All right, so we have had all the continents other than the Pangea. I think the information you have is about Pangea, which broke up, and we have the present continents, right? The present continents broke up from Pangea. That is what we know. But before Pangea also, we already have many supercontinents, which was further broken up and then joined together again to form Pangea. Okay? So now we come to the Phanerozoic age. So we live during the Phanerozoic age, which is the present eon. all right, which means visible life. We have much information about Phanerozoic. Why? Because of the fossils which are there in the rocks. Okay, all right, which can be dated back to specific time of the geological period, right? So Phanerozoic means visible life, okay, or a burst of life. This is the time when living beings started appearing, living organisms started thriving, and it covers approximately 12% of the Earth's history. Okay, so it's a very recent age, and we have the information of 12%. Okay, the time. This eon starts from the Cambrian period. This is the first period of the Paleozoic era. Alright, that is why those three eons, previous eons, they are known as the Precambrian, means anything which deals with the events which are before the Cambrian period. Alright, so it dates from 541 million years ago and continues till the present age. Alright. Then the Phanerozoic age is subdivided into three eras and further subdivided into different periods and epochs, which you will look in the uh, following slides. This is the interval of geological time characterized by abundant, complex fossilized remains. Abundant, why? Because now we have different life forms which are thriving. So we have abundance of information, all right, through complex fossilized remains, fossils which are there in the rocks, right? Okay, so it can be in the form of plants or it can be in the form of animals or fauna. Okay, it can be floral in nature or fauna in nature. Because of these two factors, most paleontologists and geologists study fossils and rocks from the Phanerozoic eon, since much of the information is available from rocks of the Phanerozoic eon. That is why we have the paleontologists and geologists, they always choose the rocks from this eon to study. Why? Because it will give more information about the Earth's history. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Phanerozoic eon, it means visible life. This is the time where we have an outburst of life, or plants started thriving and also animals. Okay, so here the Phanerozoic eon is we have is further subdivided into three eras as we have discussed, right? And then these eras are divided into different periods, and the different periods are divided into different epochs. Okay, so the periods of geological time are subdivided into epochs as we have already discussed. In turn, epochs are divided into even narrower units of time called ages. I want you to find out about the latest age which is being included in the geological time. It is known as Meghalayan age. So I want you all to find out an information about this. Alright. So for the sake of simplicity only, the epochs of the Paleogene, Neogene and Quaternary periods are shown. However, it is important to note that all the periods of the Phanerozoic era are subdivided into epochs and ages. So these Holocene epoch, they can be further subdivided into different types of ages, alright? But since it will be too much complex, so we end our discussion only till the epoch, alright? So that is why I want you to do this assignment to find out about the most recent age which is being included and the fossils or the radio uh, the uh, the information collected was from Meghalaya, right? it is given the name Meghalayan age. So find out about that. So let us see the Paleozoic era. All right. So there are different events. How we identify these eras or these geological time, basically based on the events which occurred during that time. So it can be geological events or anything which is related with the formation of the continent, all right, or it can be biological events, okay, where we see the evolution of plants, evolution of animals, okay, the exist a time where such types of plants existed, right? So that is how we classify all of these events into different times based on the information we get from those fossils or from the rocks, okay? So the Paleozoic era is its length is from 542 to 251 million years ago. Okay, so during this time, the major events which we can mark is supercontinent Pangaea was formed during the Paleozoic era. Alright, so we have shelled marine animals was common during this time. Alright, then land plants and animals appear. Okay, then fish, amphibians, reptiles appear during this age. And also we have one major or one important event that is known as Permian mass extinction. It was said that during the Paleozoic era there was a mass extinction of plants and animals. Okay, uh, there are various theories about this. Some say because there was a huge volcanic eruption which covered the sky and doesn't allow light to penetrate. So naturally without light plants die out and so also animals. Right? So the Paleozoic era, it is divided into the Cambrian period, in which during the Cambrian period the main event which was spot is first possible vertebrates appear. Okay, vertebrates appear means animals having bones and shells. All right. Then Ordovician period, another period of the Paleozoic era. Over here we have modern oxygen-rich atmosphere has formed. So the Earth uh, has become favorable for life to thrive. All right, and then we have the Silurian period. First land plants appear during this time. Okay, we have ferns. All of these they started appearing. All right, and then first arthropods appear on land. These are the types of arthropods, types of animals. And then the first amphibians appear, means the animals which can live both on land and water. Alright? And then we have the Carboniferous period. First reptiles appear during this period. Right? And the Permian period, we have formation of the Pangaea is complete. Remember I told you the Pangaea was formed from the breakup of the previous continents. Alright, okay, so formation of Pangaea was completed during the Permian period. And then we have a Permian mass extinction results from major environmental changes. Okay, so after that we will move into the Mesozoic era. Mesozoic era. The length is 251 to 65 million years ago. Please keep in mind regarding the dates. You it's always better if you will write approximately. Okay. So the Mesozoic era is also known as the age of the dinosaurs because the dinosaurs they live only during the Mesozoic era, and they had to face extinction also during this era. All right. So the major events are Pangea broke up. Okay. So Pangea, it started breaking apart during the Mesozoic era. All right. Then dinosaurs, they lived during this time. Then we have first birds appeared during this time, and first flowers also they appeared during this time. Okay. And then we have dinosaur extinction. All right. So it was again during this time there was the dinosaurs, they were extinct. Right. So Mesozoic era is divided into three periods: Triassic period, Jurassic period, and Cretaceous period. Okay, the Triassic period is marked by the Pangea, which begins to break apart, and the appearance or the first mammals which appear. Right, first mammals they appear during the Triassic period. All right. Dinosaurs also are considered to be mammals. Okay, so uh, then we have Jurassic period. So the first primitive birds appear. So you please check the meaning of mammals, all right? And you please find out what is the meaning of mammals. So first primitive birds appear during the Jurassic period. Clear? And then Cretaceous period, first flowering plants appear during this time. And then first modern birds appear also during this time. And the last dinosaurs become extinct due to a catastrophic meteorite impact which occurs. Okay, alright. So that is how the dinosaurs were extinct. And the last era we have is the Cenozoic era. So the length is 65 million years ago and it continues till the present time. It is known as age of the mammals. Okay, so major events are mammals appear. All right. Dinosaurs, we have different, some of them are part of mammals and some they are reptiles. Okay, for dinosaurs please keep that in mind. You find out the differences between reptiles, mammals, and amphibians. All right. So you find that on your own. And then continents. It was during this era where the continents they are in its present position. Okay. So and then first humans appeared during this age. All right. And also we have the Great Ice Age. I hope you have seen the movie Ice Age. This was a time when most of the northern continents they were covered with ice, right? Completely covered with ice. Even North Africa, okay? North Africa, which means even Sahara Desert, all right? So most of the northern hemisphere was covered with ice. That is known as the Great Ice Age. Clear? Then the Cenozoic era is divided into the Paleocene epoch, Eocene epoch, alright, the Oligocene epoch. Further, it is divided into the Tertiary period and the Quaternary period, right? Under the Tertiary period, we have the Paleocene epoch, the Eocene epoch, and then the Oligocene epoch, right? Okay, so uh, Paleocene epoch, basically this is the age where the ice age happened. All right. And then we have Eocene. Most modern mammal families, including whales, carnivores, hoof animals, and primates, have appeared during this time. Okay. And then first grasses appear during the Tertiary period. All right. And then which is the Eocene epoch. And then in the Oligocene epoch, we have India collides with Asia and Antarctica drifts over South Pole. So this was the time when India finally had collided with Eurasia, okay, and the Himalayas was formed during the Tertiary period. All right, and then Quaternary period. It is divided into Miocene epoch, okay, and then a Miocene epoch also. Uh, it is still under the Cenoz, the Tertiary period. Okay, Quaternary period. It includes it includes Pleistocene epoch and Holocene epoch. All right. So you can always refer from the table, geological table which I have given you. So the first hominids or early human ancestors appear, okay, and modern ice age begins. All right. Please remember, ice age, it happens for so many times. All right. So modern ice age, it begins during this time. Then the quaternary period we have is the Holocene and the Pleistocene epoch. During this time, we see the evolution of human beings. Okay. So I hope it's clear. So you please, if you have any problem, please let me know, and I will help you with your problem. Thank you, class.